for budgets, and just put it out there, and then put your bills in piles according to the categories in those budgets. You know, you pick the ones that are pertinent to your family. You know, some people send money to other people, and so you should put that into your budget. Some people's income isn't just from one job, but two. Some people get child support or alimony, and that's part of it. So you have to do it according to what's good for you. All right, so you've got your bills in piles. And you should either put them in folders that are named, or clip them together, or rubber band them. And then you go and you buy, okay, take that, put that away for a week, okay? Now you go and you buy one of those little notebooks you can put in your pocket or your purse or something. And every time you spend a dime, you write it down. Now, the experts say, well, you have to do that for a month. Fat chance, I never made it beyond 2 weeks. So, I mean, you guys aim for 2 weeks, but a week will give you an idea, okay? A week should be enough. All right? Then what you do, you bring that notebook and you bring out your piles again, and you bring out your budget category, and you fill in the lines. All right? If you have a bill, a big one that you pay once a year, just divide it by 12, you know, and stick it in there. All right, so now you have your spending set up, right? Part one, the easy part now, the part that's the smallest part is your earnings, right? You take your paycheck and you fill in the income part of your budget, right? You then deduct your spendings from your earnings. Subtract your spending from your earning. If you have nothing left or you owe more than you earn, you need to earn more or spend less, okay? But don't think of this as a grade. Don't think of this as a way to beat up on yourself. Think of this as a tool, okay? So even if it's not quite as wonderful as you expected it, even if you have a little less left over than you had hoped, don't panic, because what you've done now is you've given yourself that piece of information you need to take action. You're organized. You've listed what you earn, what you spend. There's one more thing to do though now, before you have a real live budget, okay? And it's the very, very most important thing you can do. At the very top line of expenses in your budget, you've got to write down, pay myself first. The most important budget expense. Oh, easy for her to say, right? She doesn't have to pay this and that out of all this little tiny check. Well, this is what you need to do. This is how you save for emergencies, for retirement, for education. You can even divide it, pay yourself, pay for education, pay whatever you want. But you have to consider savings for your family as a category as important as paying your rent. You have to treat that payment to yourself the same way you would treat a bill that you have to pay on time every month. Because you and your family are the most important thing in the world. If you know what you need to save to help out with college bills, put that much away and try to live on the rest. Same with retirement. The only thing I'm going to tell you right here is don't ever overestimate what you can do, or you're going to starve, right? Or you won't stick to your budget. Don't say, well, I'm going to put away $200,000 for my child's education in 5 years. That's a really big nut to crack. You'd have to stop eating, live on the streets, and hold down 4 jobs a day to do that, okay? So don't overestimate, don't go crazy, but do make it the first thing on your list. It's a bill that you have to pay on time every month. You have to pay yourself. The trick to this, to making it possible and easier, is to do it immediately. When you go home today, you figure out what you're going to put away this week for your family. I don't care if you don't even have a budget, even if it's $5 this week. Start the habit, okay? Do it consistently, all the time. If you're paid weekly, if you're paid every 2 weeks, if you're paid monthly, wherever. And try to do it automatically. Your bank will take money out of one account and put it into another automatically. And if you have figured out how much you're going to save and what you have left to spend, you're not going to overdraw that bank account, because you know that money's not going to be there, and pretty soon you won't even miss it. You'll just figure, oh, this is what I have to live on. There's money automatically going into my savings account and collecting interest. Even if you're paying off credit cards right now and it's a stretch for you, try to put something away, anything. You know, It's the habit. You get the habit, and pretty soon, you know, and then you get it done automatically, even if you just ask the bank to transfer 10 bucks, okay? And pretty soon I think I got a raise. I can put the raise away and keep living on what I have. Grandma gave her $25. I'll give her 15 of it and put 10 into the automatic savings account. You can do this. Another way to pay yourself first, and we've all done it, but we're going to have to do a better job of it, believe me, and that's to squeeze. A little here, a little there. Pretty soon it adds up to real money. I'll explain to you how. If you save $150 11 months a year, I've discounted Christmas. I mean, with kids, what are you going to do, right? Just 11 months a year, you save $150 for 16 years at just 2% interest. Or, you know, because you're not getting much these days, right? Compounded quarterly, you're going to end up with $32,500. That's fantastic. That'll go a long way toward paying for a public education. Or at least paying for half for one kid and half for the other. Or at least getting them through the first year. Or at least paying for the first year at USF. If you didn't get any financial aid, and you will. That gets you going. So how do you do that? Oh yeah, $150. I barely get by on what I make now. Well, any of you have 50 cents change a day that you can put into a jar? That's 15 bucks a month. ATM fees, one late credit card fee, debit charges, you stop those, you're going to save at least $30 that month. Honest, check it out. Look at your records. Drink 12 to 14 fewer cans of soda a month and save $12. Okay? Bring your lunch from home 3 times a week. That'll save you $60. Order 20 regular coffees a month instead of cappuccinos. You'll save $30 to $40. You don't do that? It's okay. You eat dinner out 2 fewer times a month. You save 30 bucks. If you're a smoker, quit. You're not only going to save money, but you're going to save on healthcare later. Let's say those last few things don't really pertain to you. You're already eating your bread and water at your desk every day. Okay? On unmanicured nails with no haircuts. All right. And holes in your shoes. If you want to save even more, buy prepaid cell phone cards so you don't have to sign up for expensive plans. Shop for better rates on car insurance. Boy, they want you now. They really want you. You shop, you get several $100s. It may be a good time, if you're a homeowner, to appeal your home tax assessment because everybody's home values have fallen. And although they'll be readjusted up later should values recover, you might want to save a couple $100s a year. Finally, try to squeeze, this is the hard one, credit card debt out of your life as much as possible. You know, credit's like fire. It can warm you, give you leverage, right, to buy something, or it can burn you. Now, most of you know that compound interest makes your savings grow, right? Well, it does the same thing to your debt. Just think of it. I've got a credit card debt here, and compound interest is working its magic for the other guy. Remember, a budget and thinking about all of this is a way to make sure that other people's hands stay out of your pockets. You have to be smart about it. If you pay a 4% minimum on a $2,200 credit card debt, and it carries an 18% interest rate, say, it'll take you nearly 10 years to pay that off. It will cost you more than $1,200 in interest,